When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we ride. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We installed doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, steady, back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
The NFL is on EA Sports as we come to you from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Badgley now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Black 20, 50 seconds, come on. Watch the twist, watch the twist.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers play their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10.
Watch the boot, watch the boot. Check 15.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
It's 3rd down and 4.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. He's going to look deep for his running back. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
All right, set 180. 98 to Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
To throw, Rivers. On the screen, this is Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Eckler, and he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check girls, check girls.
Roethlisberger will throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got Moncrief. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. Now the ball comes loose and picked up by the Chargers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They run it here with Gordon. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 31, Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, Rocket.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing. But there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you've got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
Rivers on the money, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Rivers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now this throw complete to Washington. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, 61 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken short. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range. Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ready? Like 80.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, check 24, watch 24.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. To Connor on the check down. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun, Rivers. Escaping the pressure right. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Roethlisberger. This is caught, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab, and the Steelers have taken the lead. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives them crazy when it actually happens to them. Fast and furious, there came the points.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership...
There goes Melvin Gordon. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, LA! Melvin Gordon, 75 yards. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. From the 29, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Charger drive about to get going. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Parker, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Throwing on second down. Rivers. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 72 yards. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Casey Hayward. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And it's complete. Henry, 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. It's Gordon. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And an alley to run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
180. 180.
3 bucks.
Alpha.
We got double up.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Badgley able to punch this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derwin James with a pick.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Well, clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Taylor going to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? He needed that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 50. The 30, past the 20, and he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
Got white 90. Got 80.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.